that good off the cuff. Can you imagine what it must be like when he prepares? The 2017 St. Vrain Valley School District Teacher of the Year was nominated by several parents and students or former students, and a colleague, and a principal. This is what they had to say. This teacher is a 1 in a million teacher. Thought I was going to make it. My son will forever benefit from having him as his teacher. My son learned and was encouraged to think critically about literature, how to write creative stories, how to dissect materials and really analyze them and become a deeper thinker. He relates stories to me weekly about history, language, arts, and science facts he learned from this teacher last year. My son had visual convergence issues, and this teacher challenged him and us to raise the bar of expectations. This teacher knew our son could perform and learn at a very high level, and then enabled our son to do so and to so achieve. He nurtures every child, invests himself in each student, and tries his best to ensure that each one gets what he or she needs to grow as an individual into a positive and wonderful citizen. Another parent writes, I am a parent who enjoys seeing our daughter turn from a good reader who we had to entice to read to one who is a voracious reader because of the fire lit by this teacher in her daughter. She adds, our daughter has always been an artistic child, and now she is a prolific writer of poetry, stories, and journaling and blogging because she has been exposed to this teacher's teaching style, his passion for his work, and his love for his students. He is constantly encouraging and challenging his students to be the best students they can be, the best Coloradans, and the best partners in learning as they collaborate on lessons such as ramp and bridge projects to incorporate engineering and technology in his teaching. He updates us weekly by email and on the class website about spelling, math, and writing requirements and assignments. His excitement for learning is contagious and embraced by his students. He is kind, generous, humble, and full of grace. His colleague writes, this teacher exemplifies professionalism and passion for teaching every hour of every day. I've worked with him for 12 years, and he inspires me to be a better teacher. Sharing ideas, working through challenges, mentoring teachers new and experienced. This teacher maintains a wonderful sense of humor. His passion for writing is shared by every student who has passed through his classes. His principal tells of an individual who is repeatedly referred to by those in the community as the best teacher I've ever had. He is honored and revered by all in his community for he loves teaching his students. In an age of communicating in 140 characters or less, this teacher loves writing and helping his students share his love for writing. A published author, he seeks feedback from his students and then learns from them. This teacher has been teaching children for decades. Already well accomplished, he could rest on his laurels, depend on ideas and strategies from his wealth of experience, but not this teacher. Whether it is use of technology or his many schoolology seminars for staff members, this teacher is at the top of his game, his craft, and his calling. His principal states, recently I toured a mother and father through the classrooms, showing them all the wonderful things that we have to offer here at the school. As we entered this teacher's classroom, the mother was brought to tears at the sight of this teacher. He wrapped her in a huge hug, and the principal could hear the mother say to the teacher, and tell this teacher what an impact he had had on her life when she was a student. Now, I want you to close your eyes for a minute, and this will get me back on track. Close your eyes for a moment. Just close your eyes. And think back, if you're old enough, to where you were 40 years ago? Yeah, some of you don't want to do that. For over 40 years, this teacher has worked in the same school, and for 40 years, according to our superintendent, he has always asked of himself, what more can I do to help this student, to reach this child, to support this family? An example for all who teach and educate children, our St. Vrain Valley School District 2017 Teacher of the Year is Erie Elementary 4th grade teacher, Mr. Charlie Garcia, mentoring live and proud.
Say something. Thank you. Yeah, and after listening to Mr. Couch, maybe I'm retiring a little too early. So I don't know what I could do about that anymore. There's a multitude of people I wish to thank, but we don't have time for that this evening. And in my mind, this great mass of people is rushing forward, and my father is stepping out to shake my hand, to hug me. My father had an 8th grade education. I asked him about that once, and he told me that the school in his little town near Trinidad only had an 8th grade. That's as far as it went. But my mother said he actually got kicked out of school. Something about she was in the outhouse, he locked it and threw rocks at it. That's how far back I go. And so, I know he always wanted to go back to school, but along came World War II in Korea, as we were talking about. And he never did finish, so he came home and became a very, very proud steel worker in Pueblo, Colorado. And we boomed. I was a baby boomer, had 8 children in my family. And he saw something in me. He would take me aside and say, son, I don't want you to work in that goddamn steel mill. Excuse me. Sorry, thoughts. It's a quote. You can blame Dad. And, he set me up with a little desk like maybe Walt Disney's downstairs and expected me to study. And along came graduation. Of course, he didn't make it. He had to work the shift and he couldn't take time off. And, that's like Don, taking time off, personally, they didn't really do that. So, the next day when I was ready to leave, he gave me 2 $20 bills, a shake. And I packed up the belongings I had in a backpack, hitchhiked up to Boulder and figured it out. And I think about the symmetry of that $40 and 40 years of teaching, how it just worked out. It's $1 for every year. And we're getting paid a little bit better than that. Anyhow, I finished college, met my wonderful wife, moved to Erie, Colorado, got a job, and I was hired the day Elvis Presley died. So, Elvis left one building, and I entered another. And the rest, as they say, is history. And the interesting thing about it is, I was very young. I graduated from college, I was 21. And I knew I was very young. And so at Erie Elementary and at Erie, the town of Erie itself, I learned. I didn't learn anything in college. And at Erie Elementary, I learned to be a teacher. I learned to be a husband. I learned to be a father. My children were born there. They went to Erie Elementary. And now I'm learning to be a grandfather. And my granddaughter is at Erie Elementary. And I just love how it all worked out. And I want to thank you all, everybody involved, because the years at St. Vrain have been so kind and generous and thoughtful. I've looked, I can almost say, every single day. And I'm going to miss it terribly. And I appreciate I just appreciate where I am right now. I could always say wish Dad was here. And I know some famous boxer said somebody up there likes me. And I feel that way tonight. And so thank you. Good night. Have a wonderful evening.